we go. The opinions and views expressed in this podcast are solely those of the Mortgage Dudes only, and not those of Equity Resources Incorporated or Greentree Mortgage Services. We're not crazy. Think of them as your slightly odd, yet occasionally hilarious uncles that are very knowledgeable about mortgages. I will say, together they have over 45 years of experience in the housing market, and that may or may not have included bourbon, beer, and cigars. They are here to enlighten and entertain, and we cannot be responsible for the language or jokes. So buckle up and be ready. Things are about to get interesting.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Mortgage Dudes. I'm Shane Marzullo. This is my partner in crime, Ed Moloney.
And I'm wearing a special hat that is McQuaid Bay Fish Company. But wait, I got my barn husband shirt on. Because many of you know I pick up horse in the morning.
Yes, you do. Do you do that every morning? Like every morning, is that your...
That was my job.
Really? Yeah. I mean, I would think it'd be the kids. How you guys doing? I would think it'd be the kids that would do that.
My wife and daughter do the evening. I do the morning.
But there's two shifts
And I
to picking up horse poop?
crisps to keep my muscles big.
I just did, well, we're in Florida. We were talking about Janelle and I come down here for about 3 weeks, and the RV park we were at, which my RV is in the back here around here, is attached to a 27-hole golf course, so which is nice. We go golf, we work, we go golf, we work, we go golf. You know, we get out of the Ohio weather.
Golf since you've been down there, Shane?
Well, you know what? That's funny you say that, because we golfed the first week we got down here. I think we golfed, 7 days we golfed, maybe 6 days, let's say 6 days. And then last week was just shit. I mean, it was cold. It was Florida cold, but it was rainy. So we didn't golf last week. We actually golfed yesterday for the first time in a week. It was great. It's, Florida had that cold spell. We weren't the Florida that was getting the snow, which is funny because we go to that area in March. So I was watching a bunch of photos. I was like, oh, crap. Yeah. But yeah.
So you will go back to Florida again this year for 3 weeks?
Yeah. So we go to Lakeland in January, like I said, for 3 weeks. And then come home. And then we work in cold hell for a while. And then like mid to late March, we go for about a week and a half. We go to a different part. So right now we're in Lakeland, and then, which is more in the center of the state. Then we go to Destin, which is more in the Panhandle, which is right on the beach. And it's funny, is totally two different areas. I'm not a beach person. Janelle likes beach. I don't know how about you. I know you're a fishing guy, so you don't care, but beach thing doesn't do anything for me. And, like even when we go to Destin, I literally just sit at the RV outside and have cigars and drink a little bit. Janelle's
you go with a group of people or no?
No, it's just us, me, Janelle, and the dog. So,
I know people love to hear about our shit, but they want to hear about mortgages. But let me tell you what's going on with Ed. Ed picks up horse. But we haven't been overly cold like your Ohio, which was 1 or 2 degrees. My wife has a wonderful leather business. LimitedLeather.com, and we'll post that later. But reach out to me, and she's doing firefighters, all kinds of outfits and equipment for them. She does dog leashes. She does little wallets, and she's loving it. She was a BU art student, has owned many different art businesses. I am not very artistic. I'm a numbers guy. We are now January 27th. I turned 53 on January 15th. Shane gave me nothing,
That's
per
right.
usual.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
will have the pleasure of
I gave
seeing
you
him
the
in
pleasure of being my
mid-April,
friend.
in mid-February, in Ohio, where I'll be freezing for what we call a vision meeting for our company. Shane may embarrass all of us because he usually does. And he better bring some damn cigars. And tell me a bit about your Costco bourbon trip, and then we're going to jive into mortgages.
Yeah. So we always go. So Janelle, we didn't go this year. Well, probably hit it on the way back. So when we left Ohio was like 27 degrees. Well, hell, when we were going to Kentucky, they were 27 degrees. And I'm like, it's just too damn cold to, let's just get going, get down. So usually we'll hit it on the way back. But Costco, if anybody likes bourbon, or just booze itself, in Kentucky, Costco sells it, and it's great prices, and they have a good selection. They have the Costco brand stuff, which is pretty good. I know the Costco gin's pretty good. My buddy likes that, so usually I end up loading up for me and a few other people. And heading back, when I head back home, I'll stop there. We stop at Buc-ee's. I don't know if you ever heard of Buc-ee's, Ed. Buc-ee's is a you'll start seeing that more and more. They're like a big, huge gas station. I mean, they have over 100 pumps. They have over like 100 stalls for the bathroom. They got all this food like brisket, and it's good. They're out of Texas, but they're hitting 75 I-75 pretty good now. So they're coming along with some good stuff. And but yeah, it's good. Like I said, we're here in Florida. I'm doing it outside in the old RV. I did stop. I wish I should have. So there's a flea market down here. It's in Auburndale or Autodale, whatever. But it's got this old lady sells cigars, and I get the 60 gauge, which I like the bigger cigar. 60 gauge.
You have such a big mouth.
Yeah, yeah, and they're like 6-inch cigars. So, but I get 25 for $75, no tax. So I basically I'm paying $3 a stick.
No brand, or is it her own brand?
It's her own brand, flea market brand, man. But let me tell you right now, these things burn so good. Like I've had one where the ash was like this big before it fell off. I mean, I was like, holy crap. He goes, when I first found her, I was like, well, I'll buy one or two and see how they are. And I was like, holy crap, these things are great. So I went and bought 25 more. So
we're 9 minutes in and people are sick of hearing about this, so I'm going to throw some off the list.
Yeah.
So our new president, if you like him or not, it doesn't matter. He has come out and said he's going to get rates in the 3s. Let me be clear. That is horse. It is garbage. Any of you that are waiting for rates in the 3s, and by the way, I want to bring the Whig Party back from the 1800s. So don't start shooting me that this is political. It's not political. It's just dumb. Rates are not going into the 3s, folks. If they do, we need another COVID. We need the government buying mortgage-backed securities. Let's just throw that crap out.
I mean, even if it did, though, Ed, it's not happening tomorrow. It might be 2 years into the term. No one flips a switch.
Without getting into this too far, a big event has to happen.
Well, I agree.
Not just him saying it.
I agree. He'd like to get the rates. Hey, honestly, if we could get them into the 4s or 5s, that'd be awesome. I mean, that'd help a lot of people out.
Exactly what I want to hit on is we have teetered back up in the 7s, guys. And let's say you're at a 7.5 right now, and you see rates get to 6.375. You should have your mortgage person do a break-even analysis because the windows can be very tight. Last year, we had a tight window, January 12th, like for a day and a half. And then we had in the fall for about 12 out of 30 days. So, that is a big piece. But please, if you're in the sevens and thinking of refinancing, don't wait until the fives. Do a break-even analysis with your people.
Yeah, I think it's good to look at. Like, and you're right. I mean, in your area, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
0.5% could be huge for many people. But in my area, I mean, hell, sometimes 1% is not even worth doing. So, and that's where you have to, as a consumer, like, hey, I've heard this. What does that mean for me? And and we can say, hey, look, for you to do this, like I've had it where like I'm like, yeah, it's this % lower, but you're saving $40. The amount of money you're going to pay and closing costs, it's not worth it. Hey, it's great for us. We get paid, but that's not what it's about. It's about you.
You hit it. My loan size are different. My point on this is, don't listen to the media. And remember, if you're renting, you're paying 100% interest. Yep. Period. You're renting, you're paying 100%. If you buy a home and you're paying 8%, you're paying 92% less interest. That's it. I am off that tangent. We got Fannie and Freddie grant extensions.
Yeah, that's nice.
Why you take that one?
So I mean, Fannie, they extended their grant if you're now it's a first-time home buyer on Fannie, but it's basically if your income is with 50% of the median income, and that varies based on location, that you can you'll get like $2,500. And if your income is slightly over, but within 80% of the median income, then it's $1,250. We've actually done quite a few of those for people where they weren't expecting it. And once we analyzed the income, we're like, hey, we don't have to count your overtime and you still qualify. But then now you qualify for this program and it's a free $1,250 for them. They don't pay it back. I mean, it's a great deal for people. You have to do some education.
They have to do a little bit of classwork. They have to do something that takes minutes of time. We in New England have had the same thing. Surprisingly, we run it through and it pops up. We don't know how long that's going to last. Yeah. Each county may have their own money. Like here, Worcester is down payment. But I got to tell you, I don't see down payment as my client's biggest issue because they get down payment from a gift from mom, a gift from dad. Mm-hmm. They can get it from selling a car. They can get it from a mixture of things. Your tax refund. I think where we got to get people clear is, I don't know, do you have many ADUs, accessory dwelling units there?
We, very, very few. Very few. We call them mother-in-law suites, but very few. You see those.
So Fannie and Freddie is allowing, if they're legal ADUs, to use that rent. Where if you buy a single family and you don't have any rental history, you're going to rent out rooms to friends, you can't count that income. Now you can get mom and dad to co-sign and then use that to offset. Right. I'm on a tangent here because it's about the affordability for people more than the down payment. Everybody's focused on the down payment. Yes, that's important. But it's important to start thinking outside the box. So we have a bunch of ADUs here, Shane has a bunch of multi-families in his area, 2, 3, 4 families.
And that's a big
John
thing.
and Michelle can get in for 5% down, use the rents to get into the home. Yeah, so again, it's important.
Yeah, the rent you're receiving is paying your house payment. Great. You're basically living for free. It's a great option.
Down payment's important. Grant programs to offset are important, but we need people to start thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
So let me be clear. I don't care what state you are in the country. Reach out to me or Shane. We can't talk mortgage rates in states we're not licensed in, but we can still do individual education. Yeah. We're both big believers that the divide has started, and it started years ago, but it's getting worse. If you do not have home ownership versus renting, long-term wealth, you're screwed. Let me repeat it. You're screwed. But with time and a plan, you can get in. And I can't push enough. Shane, tell me a little bit about multis in your area, 30 miles from your home. What price range? What are rents? Just give an idea because people don't have a clue.
Depending on the area, obviously, but you might be able to pick up a multifamily. Let's say it's a duplex, and you might be able to get. Let's say it's a good area. You might be able to pick it up for like 150, 180,000. Okay, but you might be able to get $1,000 to $1,500 a month in rent on that unit. Well, if your house payment, let's say your house payment was $1,700, just for all purposes, that means, and you're getting $1,500 in rent, you're making, you're paying what, $200 a month? I mean, it's a no-brainer in a lot of things, and and that might be like, hey, on those you can say, hey, you're gonna split the water bill with me, or however, because our water, they don't have separate water meters. They might. It depends on the units. It depends on the place. I think my old 4-unit had one water meter. It depends. But like I said, there's good availability for those, and it's a good option to come on. Maybe I get a starter home. Maybe I get in there. It's just a great way to go. It's a great way. And here's the thing. Now we have tax season coming. Yay, taxes. There's people who get refunds. Ed and I don't know what that means, but there are people who get. Do you write off your horses? Is that a write-off?
I wish.
Yeah, like a kid. But no, it's tax season, so people, we always kind of advise people like, hey, use that money for that tax money for your down payment. It's that. Then you have the bill. You have a down payment. It's your money. We don't have to source it. The only thing we have to verify it's that you got it. Even if you're like, hey, my girlfriend or my fiance is gonna live with me, but she's not on the loan, or he, whatever. I mean, but they're getting a tax refund. That's a gift. That's okay. It's those are acceptable forms, And for us in our area with Ohio and Michigan, we have the grant program where sometimes I'm like, hey, save your money, because use that grant program for your down payment and cover part of your closing costs. Maybe the taxes, the tax return you're getting, you'll pay for the balance of your closing costs, or maybe the seller pays it, or you use that, the seller pays it, and then you use all that money for the stuff you buy. Because what people don't realize when you buy a home is you have to buy shit. You have to buy what? Lawnmower, snowblower, curtains, furniture,
toilet paper, since mom and dad have been paying for it.
Yeah. You know what? I think about it. It's funny. My kids are always like, hey, when you go to Costco, can you pick this up? Because they don't have a Costco membership. I'm like, yeah. I don't know if I ever got paid. I mean, like, my wife gets it. I'm like, I don't think we get paid back. I'm like, I'm just donating.
It's called being a parent, jackass.
I know.
I think the big thing here is down payments are out there. There's many ways. There's grants. There's other things. Don't get caught up that you can't afford a home. Buying a multi might be an option. Using an ADU might be an option. Yep. Getting a relative to co-sign and renting out rooms. Buying with a friend. But we can't push enough. It's important.
Yeah.
We've talked about the fund. We've talked about different grants. Some people that are self-employed are screwed because they don't want to show too much money because the taxes come out. So my friend Shane's going to talk a little bit about a bank statement program. Then today we're going to hit on one or two more things, and then we're done because Shane's going to go golfing.
I don't even know. Today's my wife's birthday, so Janelle's my wife turned 29.99999. So
that was smart, Chuck.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah. No, we're celebrating her birthday today, and we both got work to do. We're like, we're going off to dinner tonight at an Italian restaurant that we like in Lakeland, and I don't even know what we're golfing today, but no.
Just be careful driving. Just be careful. Maybe you should Uber.
Yeah, I've already done the Uber thing down here. Ed's laughing because we just got my wife, like the 19th, somebody just hit us so hard. She was driving. I'm sitting here. We're sitting at a stop sign. I'm looking at my phone, reading some email, and all of a sudden I realize I hear a bang, and I'm like, and I hear my wife like like almost crying, like screaming, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy? I mean, all our airbags went off on the sides, and her seat airbags went off. The guy hit the rear passenger or the driver's side rear door, and if it would have hit her door, she would have been seriously hurt. And I'm gonna give props to GM because she had a GM Acadia. That those airbags were amazing. I mean, and as soon as that happened, we had the OnStar. They were like, walking her through everything. I'm an old man. I carry a pocket knife now. I open my door, cut the airbag out, move that. It ended up totaling the car, which if anybody's ever been in a different state, far away from home, it's a nightmare because the police are like, so you gonna have somebody pick you up? I'm like, I'm from Ohio. My RV is, all I have is my RV right now, and I can't get to that. So cops took us to the hospital, took me to the hospital because Janelle went to the hospital to have her checked out. Her shoulder and arm and everything was bruised and banged up. And then we had Uber back. So
I'm glad everybody's involved. I'm glad she's okay.
Yeah, but, you know what? I worried about it because she's been hit before. My wife's never, okay. My wife has never been in an accident where it's been her fault. It's always been somebody else's. And it's just, it sucks. It's like, it's always something, and I'm like, ugh. And, her back is already messed up, but.
Well, I know everybody cares about your wife, but we're going to.
Yeah, I know. No one cares about this. Anyway, moving forward.
Program
that program is it's a good program if you're a business owner and you've been in it for more than a couple years. Maybe you're a person who's not claiming all their income, or you write off a lot. Well, there is options, and where we can look at your income on your deposits on your bank statement. Now, there are a couple caveats with that. If you're just like a sole proprietor and you don't have a business account per se, then we can take a large 100% of that. But if it's like, I'm I'm a corporation, and I bring in all the money, well, then there's another calculation we have to use. But again, it's a good program for people who've been in business for a while that maybe just don't have the verified funds, I don't want to say legitimately, but on the taxes, your taxes. If you're self-employed, the goal is to write off as much so you don't pay. The downside is if you don't pay, we have to go off what the taxes are saying. This is a second option for a person.
Right. So the model of this whole day is ability to buy a home. And I've had many come to me self-employed and I just can't. And bank deposit program is one more that gives one more option to home ownership to our society. And that's what's our goal is home ownership. And by the way, if you're let's say you're an accountant or an exotic dancer versus somebody that sells cars, there'll be different numbers on it. See, I got you, Jane. Exotic dancer.
Hey, back in the subprime day, I did a couple stated income loans for exotic dancers. Yeah.
But the point. So my parting shot is our goal for 25 is to stop the fear and start the fun. How you stop the fear is with time and a plan, you start the fun. Yep. So get on the phone, reach out to either one of us, text us. We're here to have fun. That's my parting shot, Shane. I hope your wife has a beautiful birthday. I'll give her a big hug in February. As long as I'm not losing my voice.
That's what she wants. That's what she wants.
Cool. Hey, she wants a barn husband. Your last parting shot, baby, is?
I'll tell you what. My parting shot's real simple. Enjoy your loved ones right now. The accident, it's kind of just like took everything in check. I will say, check with your insurance agent. Make sure you have enough coverage, because Florida insurance is stupid. And thank God for Ohio insurance and my agent's advice on everything. I hate paying it. I hate it. I hate insurance, but damn, when you need it, it's worth it. So anyway.
Parting shot, fishing season's coming, baby. It's not too far away.
What the hell is that?
It's a plastic lure. I'm going to put a metal head in it. Don't worry, I'm going to bring one with me to our event, and I'm going to have a special table.
As much as you fish, you think you'd make your own lures.
I do. I put the metal into the head. That's it. Okay. Thank you all. We love you.
Have a good one, man.